Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Putri Tutoh, student ID number 20208584776 from Group G1, Course Diploma in Science S120, Faculty of Applied Science. Will be presenting a video titled Smog for Chemistry Case Study Online Presentation. Lecture name Madam Tutoh. As my part, I will be presenting an introduction for this topic. So basically, smog is a specific type of air pollution. It is a combination of harmful pollutants, often appearing relatively low to the ground as a yellow-brown haze, that are introduced into the atmosphere by both natural and human-induced processes. It was first described over 5 decades ago as a mixture of smog and fog, hence the name smog. Today, it has a more specific definition and composition. Smog is made up of many chemicals including nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, carbon monoxide, and volatile organic compounds. But the two main components of smog are particulate matter and ground level ozone. Normal smog, often called London type smog, is mainly a product of burning large amounts of high sulfur coal, whereas photochemical smoke is a more modern phenomenon commonly produced by vehicle emissions in contact with sunlight, mostly from burning gasoline and diesel. Photochemical smoke forms in warm, densely populated cities with many vehicles.
Hello, my name is Hazel Jamalin, and I'm going to talk more about smoke, that is, its findings. It is a serious problem, and it can affect on people, plants, animals, and environment. Next, let's move to the point of smoke. So first is using a coal as a fuel. When we use coal as a fuel, it will produce high concentration of solution oxides in the atmosphere. The effects are worse in the air because it has high level of suspended particulate matter. Burning coal also causes greatly amount of smoke, which is lead to smoggy environment. Next, the second cause of the smoke is vehicular and industrial release. The discharge of transportation sector resulting from fossil fuel combustion in cars, trucks, buses, and motorbike are the main contribution of smoke formation. Most of the smoke form is in the large cities. We can see that the industries process involve an enormous amount of fossil fuels and resources that need to be produced for the production of material and goods. Thus, industry could also cause harmful gases secretion and smoke release into the atmosphere, which is lead to the formation of smoke. Next is the overpopulation and excessive consumption. The world population has been growing and growing over the past decade, so it caused huge increases in consumption and also in discharges. Our behavior also play a role in this case. So as a human, we have to be responsible for excessive smoke in our atmosphere. Since the Industrial Revolution, the quality of the production helps the machines to work and significantly. That means it has to be produced in industrial processes. So this causes the harmful gases that release into the atmosphere. Last but not least is the excessive waste production. Our uncontrolled consumption of plastic and more that contain chemicals was also the main of the cause of the generation. In large amount of waste, a significant fraction of it is burned in order to clear out of this waste, which leads to the formation of smoke by release the harmful gases in the atmosphere. So that's all for finding about smoke.
Salutations, I bid to everyone watching this video. My name is Dexter Robilin, and today I'll be discussing about smog. So as mentioned earlier, there are four main causes as to why smog is happening. The first being the burning of fossil fuel or coal, vehicular and industrial release for the second cause, the third being the overpopulation and excess consumption, the fourth being excessive waste product. So these four major problems can bring upon a very negative effect on the earth as well as human in many different aspects. So if that had been said, we need to find a very good solution to this problem to avoid any negative impact on ourselves and onto the earth. So this brings us to the problem and the solution. So the first problem is the burning of fossil fuel. The solution to solve this problem can be to switch to renewable energy sources like the solar and wind, or use public transport. The second problem is vehicular and industrial release. The solution to this problem is to reduce the use of vehicle by just walking to your destination or to practice carpooling. The third problem is overpopulation and excessive consumption. So this problem can be dealt with by educating the masses or practicing the 3R method. And the last problem mentioned is excessive waste product. So we can solve this problem by practicing to avoid open burning and use biodegradable products. Although the solution tends to bring out a good outcome, it doesn't hinder the fact that each solution have their disadvantages as well as their advantages. For the first solution of burning of fossil fuel is to use renewable energy. By using renewable energy, we save the usage of non-renewable energy for future generation as well as to reduce the release of greenhouse gases. The disadvantages of this is that it costs, so the money consumption is high to build a facility that generates energy from renewable resources as well as the environmental factor. The second solution for the burning of fossil fuel is to use public transport. This reduces the burning of petroleum, which then reduces the release of poisonous gas. The disadvantages of this is that there will be a lack of transportation, as that many people rely on transportation to get to point A and to point B. The solution for vehicular and industrial release is to walk to your destination. So the advantages of this is that we practice a healthy lifestyle and help us to get into a positive mindset, as well as to reduce the fume released by driving a car. So the disadvantages is that there are many stubborn people who tend to be lazy and not going to follow or to practice the method of walking to your destination, as well as there are unhealthy people who are unable to walk long distances. The second solution for this problem is to practice carpooling. Again, the advantages is to reduce the release of poisonous gas such as carbon monoxide, and we can also reduce money for petroleum. The disadvantages is again the lack of transportation and many people needing to go to different destinations at the same time, which hinder the purpose of carpooling in the first place. Moving on, the third problem is overpopulation and excessive consumption. And the solution for this problem is to educate the masses. When there's an overpopulation of people, there's also the increase of waste product or waste produced. So people will tend to get rid of them and usually use the wrong method, causing smog to appear or causing a landfill. So the advantages of educating the masses is that the general public are able to learn the danger of smog and will learn to prevent it. And of course, they will learn the proper method to dispose of their garbage or excessive waste. The disadvantages of this is that there's a lack of educational facility that teaches this kind of things to the public, and there's also the lack of support from the general public. The solution that can be used to solve the problem is also to practice the 3R method, which is to reduce, reuse, and recycle. This reduces the amount of waste product produced and also to teach us to be more creative with handling our waste product. So the disadvantages of this is that people have the tendency to hoard a lot of stuff, as well as people have the tendency to buy the latest and greatest, causing excessive waste to form. The last problem is excessive waste product. So the solution for this problem is to avoid open burning. When we have an excessive waste, we tend to get rid of it, and the method we tend to use is to burn them, causing open burning. So we need to avoid open burning so that we can prevent the release of chemical product into the air, which leads to improved landfill management, which can reduce spontaneous fire. The disadvantages of this is that there's a lot of stubborn people who won't go through with this method, as well as the lack of facility to properly dispose of waste product. The other solution for this problem is to use biodegradable product. This can reduce the carbon emission, and also biodegradable product is recyclable. The disadvantages of this is that we need a composter to decompose biodegradable product. A composter is not only very expensive, but some people, or some country rather, don't have the proper equipment to produce it. The second is to the risk of contamination. So when a non-biodegradable product is lumped together with a biodegradable product, they will contaminate one another, causing the biodegradable product to lose its decomposing nature, causing it to not decompose. This will only increase the volume of excessive waste to be produced, because the biodegradable product lost its nature to decompose properly. So that is all from me. Thank you very much for listening.
Hello and greeting everyone. My name is Hezron Maraun and I'm from group CHM271 to group 1. And now I would like to conclude our case study presentation. To sum up, there are many reasons that can cause the smog phenomenon, which can lead to certain type of dangerous air pollution happen. Then, exposure to smog can cause damage to our heart and lungs, even when you can't see or smell it in the air around us. As a result, this pollution is considered serious because its consequences will affect a large number of people. The main causes of smog are coal combustion and transmission emission, and luckily, there are still solutions that may be used to address this issue. Reducing the usage of automobiles is the most efficient method to tackle this problem. The government may launch a public awareness campaign on this alternate solution to encourage people to drive less and take public transit instead. This approach would be extremely beneficial since it allows us to minimize greenhouse gas emission while still being quite inexpensive. If everyone did this, of course the problem will be remedied quickly. So that's all from our group. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay calm. Thank you.